sector because the easing of the coronavirus emergency restrictions by the government of the Gambia prompted the reopening of examination classes for the junior secondary schools, which goes further to serve as a litmus test for the reopening of the rest of the academic levels. One week on, a representative of the young teachers in the country is concerned about the safety of teachers as well as students, calling for fulfillment of promises made by the Minister of Education.
About a week after the reopening of upper basic schools across the country, young teachers' representatives have called on government to ensure the safety of teachers by adhering to the WHO safety measures for the COVID-19. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education had promised to create a conducive environment and further ensure the supply of hand sanitizers, thermometers, face masks, and other sanitary materials required to prevent the spread of the virus in schools. The Gambia Red Cross was preoccupied with the cleansing and fumigation of schools, mainly in the Greater Banjul area, ahead of the back-to-school exercise. In a press release on Thursday, the Gambia Teachers Union Young Teachers Platform urged all teachers for the grade 9 examination class to take up the challenge despite the risk involved in the assignment. However, the group cautioned its members to report on relevant authorities in the event of failure in promise of the Education Authority to fulfill all conditions placed for the reopening of schools. The Gambia is among the West African countries such as Ghana compelled to allow the continuity in coverage of secondary school curriculum to make it possible for the administration of West African examination for the year 2020. The sub-regional examination body, WAEC, had announced the cancellation of the Gambia Basic Education Certificate examination following the outbreak of the coronavirus global pandemic earlier this year. West Africa accounts for more than 60,000 cases of the coronavirus out of over 300,000 cases from the entire continent. Over 8,000 deaths and 160,000 recoveries were recorded in the continent as of Thursday.
Now, on the line for detail on this is Adama Jimba Job, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Well, Mr. Job, thank you very much for joining us on the line, of course. Now, how has been the reopening of schools been faring so far?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ba. I mean, it's a pleasure having me. I would want to say it is going well as expected. Alhamdulillah. Thanks be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have started well. I mean, I was in the regions the whole of yesterday and today, and have gone all the way up to Same Karantaba this morning. And what I have seen is very encouraging and very, very fulfilling as we start the reopening of schools, starting with the grade 9s.
Right. Now, you pledged as a ministry to clean, fumigate, and provide students and teachers sanitary materials. What about that?
Yeah, we have done that so far, I think, substantially in addressing that problem. I mean, the fumigation, as we speak, I'm made to understand that at least we have covered more than 90% of the schools. Some are still because we are having some problems with locations, or the team would go there and there would be nobody in the school for them to access the school. These are some of the reports that I am getting from the team from the Red Cross. But apart from that, the fumigation exercise has been going very well. You know, obviously there isn't anything in this world that you will have 100%. So as a result, we were not expecting 100%. We were expecting how as much as possible to enable us to learn through the process. But alhamdulillah, like I said, the exercise is going very well. Regarding also the supplies, I mean, we have started with what is available for now, and it has gone across the country. And thank God we are able to do as little as we may be able to, but we have provided the basics to the schools.
All right. Now, Mr. Job, in a statement from the young teachers representative, your office has been reminded on the safety of teachers. What will you respond to this?
I mean, I wouldn't have any response. It's just a concern they're raising, and I think it's a genuine concern, which is well noted, and we have been working along those lines because we have not been working independently. All what we were doing is we have been working with the Gambia Teachers Union, in trying to address the problems. And since we started the COVID problem, they were our partners, so they are not. Nothing is new to them. All what we have been saying and we have been doing, they are part of the process, and they are even supporting us. Even the monitoring of the schools, GPU is also doing part of it. So it's a concern raised, and I think it's a very genuine concern, and we are very much aware of it, and we'll take care because, as I said, we are not trying to expose anybody, neither the students, neither the teachers, to anything. That all we want them to do is also respect the protocols, because you can provide everything, but if they don't respect the protocols, there is nothing you can do.
All right. Just lastly, before we let you go, sir, now, is the back to school kickoff positive enough to allow the resumption of all other classes across the country?
Yeah, like I said, it's a trial we are putting on, and we hope that by the end of the next week, when at least we are back to school for about 10 days, we'll be able to learn the lesson. But like I said, this for 3 days is positive, and we hope, inshallah, it will continue like that. And if it does, yeah, why not? We'll be able to expand and allow other classes to come. But you may want to know that our preoccupation was to do with the grade 9s and then the grade 12s, And by the time we are done with the grade 12, that will have been that will bring us to the end of the academic year, and we will start another academic year, that's 2021, inshallah.
All right, Mr. Job, thank you very much for your time, and it was a pleasure having you on the line.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Bo.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, it was good to have the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education on the line to respond to our questions there. Now.